Football isn't just a game. It's a battlefield of emotion, grit, and the extraordinary. From Brett Favre's magical performance the night after losing his father, to Franco Harris's immaculate reception that seemed to defy the laws of physics, these are the moments that stopped time and left us breathless. These aren't just plays, they're legendary tales. Stories of heart, hope, and sheer magic that will live forever in NFL history. Don't miss a second of the stories that haunt the NFL. Hit subscribe now to step into the shadows of the greatest game on earth. Brett Favre playing after his father's death. Some say that Brett Favre's performance after his father's passing should have been number one on a list of emotional NFL moments. On December 22, 2003, the day after the death of his father, Brett Favre played a spectacular game on Monday Night Football. On Sunday evening, Favre had suffered a fatal heart attack in Mississippi, where Favre was born. Before Green Bay's game against the Raiders, the home Oakland crowd cheered Favre. The performance that followed, courtesy of Favre and his teammates, was magical. The quarterback completed 9 consecutive passes to start the game. He threw 2 touchdown passes each in the first and second quarter, and for 311 yards in the first half alone as Green Bay led 31-7 at halftime. Favre, whose teammates physically embraced him throughout the game, and who received an emotional hug from his wife in the fourth quarter, finished the night 22 of 30 for 399 yards. The Packers' record improved to 9-6, bettering their playoff position, but that fact was secondary. "I knew that my dad would have wanted me to play," Favre said afterward, before driving back to Mississippi. "I love him so much, and I love this game." The 1958 NFL Championship Game. This nationally televised game was a major factor in the NFL becoming America's national pastime. A significant factor in pro football's emergence as America's national pastime was the NFL's dramatic and nationally televised championship game on December 28, 1958. The contest, which featured 12 future Hall of Fame players between the Colts and Giants at Yankee Stadium, was exciting throughout. After Baltimore's Johnny Unitas threw a 15-yard touchdown, the Colts held a 14-3 halftime advantage. But when the Giants' Charlie Connerly and Frank Gifford connected on a 15-yard touchdown pass in the fourth, New York led 17-14. In the final minutes, Unitas orchestrated a drive that began at the Colts' 14 and ended at the New York 13, where, with 7 seconds left, Baltimore's Steve Myra kicked a field goal to force overtime. Never before had an NFL championship been determined in sudden death OT. After a Giants punt, Unitas led the Colts on a 13-play, 80-yard drive that concluded with a touchdown run by Alan Amich as Baltimore won, 23-17. The showdown, largely due to its impact on professional football's popularity in the years that followed, became known as the greatest game ever played. The Immaculate Reception, 1972. The game, AFC Divisional Playoff, Pittsburgh Steelers vs. Oakland Raiders. The play, the Steelers were down 7-6 and facing 4th and long with 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Terry Bradshaw threw a desperate pass toward running back John Fuqua, needing a first down to extend the drive and keep the Steelers' playoff hopes alive. The Raiders' Jack Tatum knocked the ball away for what seemed like the winning play. But just before they hit the ground, Franco Harris somehow caught the ball and ran into the end zone for a 60-yard touchdown. The play gave the Steelers their first ever playoff win and is seen as the turning point for the franchise. The Immaculate Reception is widely regarded as one of the greatest moments in NFL history. The Catch, 1982. The game, NFC Championship, San Francisco 49ers vs. Dallas Cowboys. The play, with under a minute left, the 49ers trailed 27-21 and were at the Cowboys' 6-yard line. Joe Montana rolled right and, under heavy pressure, lofted a high pass toward the back of the end zone. Dwight Clark leapt and made a fingertip catch over Cowboys defensive back Everson Walls to tie the game, and the ensuing extra point gave the 49ers the lead. The catch not only secured the 49ers' trip to Super Bowl 16, but also signaled the start of their dynasty, which would dominate the NFL for the next decade. With the combination of the precision pass, excellent catch, and the situations, it's considered one of the best NFL plays of all time. The Helmet Catch 2008. The game, Super Bowl 42, New York Giants vs. New England Patriots. The play, down 14-10 with 1:15 left in the game, David Tyree provided one of the greatest football moments ever for the New York Giants. On 3 RD and 5 from their own 44-yard line, Eli Manning dropped back under tremendous pressure from the Patriots' defensive line. He somehow escaped the sack and heaved a deep pass to David Tyree. The ball seemed to stay in the air for a long time before Tyree made a leaping catch and secured the ball against his helmet as he fell to the ground, all while being tightly covered by Patriots safety Rodney Harrison. This improbable 32-yard catch extended the drive and led to a game-winning touchdown. The Giants' victory ended the Patriots' bid for a perfect 19-0 season and became one of the most memorable upsets in Super Bowl history. The Music City Miracle 2000. The game, AFC Wild Card Playoff, Tennessee Titans vs. Buffalo Bills. The play, the Bills scored a FG to take a 16-15 lead with just 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. For the ensuing kickoff, they opted for a high short kick to force the Titans to return it, which would burn the clock and keep it out of the hands of their primary return man. But what happened was the best NFL lateral play in playoff history. Titans running back Lorenzo Neal caught the ball and immediately turned around and handed it off to tight end Frank Wycheck. Wycheck took a few steps to his right and then threw a lateral across the field to wide receiver Kevin Dyson, who then sprinted 75 yards untouched for a touchdown. The controversial play, which was ruled a legal lateral after much debate, gave the Titans a stunning 22-16 victory. The Philly Special 2018. The game, Super Bowl 52, Philadelphia Eagles vs. New England Patriots. The play, with 38 seconds left in the first half and facing 4th and goal, Eagles coach Doug Peterson called for the Philly Special. Quarterback Nick Foles lined up as a receiver, and the ball was snapped directly to running back Corey Clement, who handed it off to tight end Trey Burton. Burton then threw a perfect pass to Foles in the end zone, giving the Eagles a 22-12 lead. This trick play became iconic as the underdog Eagles went on to win their first Super Bowl, defeating the favored Patriots 41-33. The Hail Mary, 1975. The game, NFC Divisional Playoff, Dallas Cowboys vs. Minnesota Vikings. The play, Roger Staubach knew he needed a prayer to beat the Vikings in the NFC playoff game. The Cowboys were down 14-10 with just 24 seconds left in the game when Staubach threw a desperation pass to wide receiver Drew Pearson. Pearson managed to catch the ball at the 5-yard line despite being closely defended, then walked into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. Staubach famously said he closed his eyes and said a Hail Mary, coining the term for future last-second desperation passes. The Tuck Rule Play, 2002. The game, AFC Divisional Playoff, New England Patriots vs. Oakland Raiders. The play, the Patriots and Raiders were playing in a snowstorm in Foxborough, and the Patriots trailing 13-10 late in the fourth quarter. The Patriots had the ball when the Raiders sent in Charles Woodson on a corner blitz. He sacked Tom Brady and appeared to knock the ball out of his hands, causing the fumble. The Raiders recovered the ball, seemingly sealing the victory. However, after an instant replay review, officials ruled that Brady's arm was moving forward when the ball was knocked loose, invoking the obscure tuck rule and changing the fumble into an incomplete pass. The Patriots' offense stayed on the field and tied the game with a field goal and won in overtime, marking the beginning of the Brady-Belichick dynasty. The Minneapolis Miracle, 2018. The game, NFC Divisional Playoff, Minnesota Vikings vs. New Orleans Saints. The play, time was ticking away on the Vikings season. Down 24-23 at their own 39 and no timeouts, they had one last play to hope for a miracle. Quarterback Case Keenum threw a deep pass to wide receiver Stefon Diggs near the right sideline. Diggs leapt into the air to catch the ball, as Saints safety Marcus Williams completely missed the tackle. Diggs turned upfield and went 61 yards into the end zone as time expired, giving the Vikings a 29-24 victory. The play sent the crowd into a frenzy and secured the Vikings' spot in the NFC Championship game.